up by doing this hazardous route review every few years, certainly every 5 years, if not sooner. So just a point about that district.
As we move on,
Just suggest use of that rubric. Use it, start with it. You can always add to it, certainly your own understanding of it and your knowledge of the neighborhoods and the way people come and where the light comes through at certain times. You can add those to it. You can add to the rubric, but we didn't look at them without a baseline of a rubric, which is how students interact. So the rubric is quite helpful. So I hope you'll use it going forward. We certainly use it to assess your hazardous route conditions. You want to jump in on this or?
yeah. So
Is away from it. Basically a rubric, now you can use it. You can use it yourself or you can develop your own. Remember, it's your opinion that's important about how you administer the use of the money in the transportation system. But the rubric is quite helpful because it gives you the 25 things you ought to think about: speed limit, angle of, but hills and shady spots and mold on roadways and things like that. They have a bigger impact on the bus driver and its cargo than does an oil tanker going through town or something else, some truck that's loaded heavy. So just keep in mind that your definition is most important. We help you with that. Your transportation professionals and the county and others can help you define what hazardous is. So this is an important designation, I'll say. I'll use things other than roads, transportation methods to get here. So it's important to note that it's your opinion, that of the superintendent, the board, and your professional staff, and your police department and other departments in town. They determine what's hazardous. It's not this bright line. It meets strategic or, scientific engineering standards. Because I'll suggest that this is a perfectly safe town, well, this town, Berkeley Heights, to drive, use things other than roads, transportation methods to get here. So it's important to note that it's your opinion, that of the superintendent, the board, and your professional staff, and your police department and other departments in town. They determine what's hazardous. It's not this bright line. It meets strategic or, scientific engineering standards. Because I'll suggest that this is a perfectly safe town, well, this town, Berkeley Heights, to drive. And Ray, would that be best? Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure this isn't about the police department says it's a perfectly safe town. It is. I found no reason to doubt that a car drives through the roads and has virtually no problems. Obviously, I would improve some things, but they're not inherently dangerous to them. But for school children, it's different. And especially when you expect them. Yep. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I wanted to start off with a little bit of a definition. Hazardous from the school perspective is really what you deem it to be hazardous. It's not what the police department says. And by the way, their opinion is most important in this, as is your civil engineer, Department of Public Works. Everybody has a different definition. Some of them more scientific than others. Others are perhaps more about the community and what their expectation is, but you get to determine what hazardous is